Welcome to the Internet Money Podcast. Today I have my good friend Evan. He is the founder at Sellmore Online, which we're all interested in. So, Evan, real quick, if you only had 1 minute to tell the audience how to launch and grow a successful online business, what would you tell them?
All right, so 1 minute on the clock. So pretty much learn a skill that's actually valuable. And to be quite honest, there's most skills are actually valuable nowadays. Like even just putting pen to paper, copywriting is valuable. Then after that, go find a couple of people that you can do free work for that are actually big in the industry that you want to target or think you want to target. Do free stuff for them, get them on camera, film a case study, run ads to those case studies, and start signing clients from there. So it's literally learn a skill, free work, run ads is kind of the way that I break it down.
The old simple formula, tough to follow at times. So tell us a little bit about your current offer and what you specifically focus on.
Yeah, so we build end-to-end marketing systems, and which is basically just a full funnel. So everything from the landing page to pretty much like pre and post click experience. So landing page, copy on the landing page, VSL script, we edit the VSL, automations on the back end, follow-up sequences on the back end, write the initial ad scripts for them, which we also have a continuous continuity product on top of that service that's monthly of running ads and also developing creatives for them. And yeah, pretty much that. So we build you a system that's actually going to be able to sign you clients or get you members, whatever your terminology is, because we service pretty much anyone that sells a digital product or an agency service. And build you a system, plug it into your business within 14 days and let it ride.
All right. Well, in case there's any noobs on the channel, let's imagine I'm about to launch an agency. Maybe I'll call it Sell Most, and walk us through how like you guys would help me, launch my agency and kind of build that like end-to-end funnel.
Yeah. So given that you know what you're doing and stuff and already have a couple case studies, right? So most agencies that I've worked with, like I'm working with a video editing agency right now, they come in and they're like, I'm just a video editing company. We edit videos, we make cool videos for it. Well, me as a business owner, I don't care about that. Like, cool, you can make them look cool. And I've turned like 3 or 4 video editors at this point myself, just because they're not actually giving me what I want, which is more views and more sales. So, that's pretty much like the end goal. So what we'll first do, find out what the actual like tangible end goal is, reverse engineer that into an offer, actually write that offer properly on a landing page, build a funnel out for it, film you some ads, run your ads, and then scale from there. So it really just stems from having something that people actually want to buy, and everyone gets like confused with that, especially services like I mentioned there, video editing, where it's, yeah, I'm gonna, like, you think that people want these cool hyper edited crazy beautiful videos, and you think they want video editing when in reality they just want sales through organic content. So pretty much initially, if you were a new agency, like that's what we got to get to the root of. It's like, what do people actually want to buy? It's the end result.
So we're working on my Sell More agency, or actually Sell Most, because I want to be better than anyone trying to sell more. And we are going to really focus on like the one-liner and the delivery. So it's not just, hey, we're editing good videos. It's, hey, we're going to edit you videos that are going to get you 6 to 10 qualified. You're the man. You tell us exactly how you kind of help them reframe these.
Yeah, it's pretty much, we help specific ICP, which is not helping everyone, right? They have to be very dialed in to, all the way from like revenue level, or have they put out content before? Have they not put out content before? Do they have a professional camera like this? They have an iPhone, like all these things come up with your requirements. So I help X people get Y result. So whatever you can confidently give, which goes back to doing free work first, because it's like, okay, I did free work for 5 people. I ran, organic content systems for them for 90 days, and each one averaged 10 new leads a month. Cool. Plug that into there. So I help XICP get 10 leads a month through organic socials in 90 days. That's pretty much like what you run with.
So now we've got the one-liner, we've got the copywriting for our landing page. And if I'm not mistaken, you talked about VSLs earlier. Now there's some haters of the VSL online. I don't know if you've been on Money Twitter and seen some of the hate that's been thrown. So talk us through, like, are VSLs still in? Are they still hot right now?
Yeah, I think like, here's the thing with VSLs, and the way that I like to do them is, if you're going after like upmarket and people that have an established business, for example, which that's what I'm going after, I actually want to give them something tangible on the VSL and not just make it like an objection handling fest and like all these crazy edits and everything. And like, oh, you're probably feeling this pain point. I'm going to solve this with this. It's like, I actually want to give them something like tangible. So the new one that we're filming next Tuesday, so about, yeah, a week from today, is very like tactical. It's here's all the secrets. This is literally everything that we're going to do broken down step by step. It's a 15-20 minute VSL. It'll be everything we're going to do step by step to build a proper full funnel end-to-end marketing system. You can literally take it if you want and run with it and just hop off this page, or you can just let us do it. So I think that's like VSLs are getting hate because people just don't do them right. And they turn into just like pitch fest because like, oh, they're on my landing page. Cool. Now I have to like do all these crazy objection handling, sales, jujitsu things. It's like, no, just like if you're going after something that's super top of funnel and it's like make your first $1,000 online kind of thing or $2,000 online, sign your first client. Okay, you can combat objections of can I actually do this? Do I have a skill? Stuff like that. But if you're an established agency owner trying to go after other like B2B businesses, especially, just actually show them on the VSL that you know what the heck you're talking about. It's kind of what my philosophy is. So I like VSLs. I know Daniel Fazio is talking about a DSL, a deck sales
DSL
letter.
almost sounds like a bad acronym. It sounds almost naughty.
So that's why I paused for a sec. So yeah, something where it's like a PowerPoint thing. So I'm like, I might test that down the line. But for now, I'm just making stuff people actually want to watch, which also goes back to the ad creative philosophy we have.
So what you're describing, at least from what I've seen without having to look at your VSL, it almost seems like one of those Miro board or maybe like a Figma diagram representation. Is that what it is? It's pretty much talking through like the funnel components.
Yeah. So pretty much just like a blueprint. I'm actually building it on Miro and going through that. So I'm going to have one where it's split tested, where it's elements on screen. So me just like direct to camera, stuff kind of popping everywhere. That's a little bit more, hyper edited. And then another one where it's just boom, here's a Miro board and also a Gamma doc. And I'm just going to run through it as if I'm just doing a consulting sesh.
All right. So we've got the landing page, we've got the VSL, and I've seen this be a trend, and I'm not sure what your opinion is. Sometimes when you scroll all the way down the super long landing page, there's sometimes like a free guide down there. Do you think that like the call to action should only be like, hey, book a call? Or do you do the same thing? They're like, hey, if you want this Miro board download, like click this link, enter in your email.
Yeah. I mean, personally, me, just for our business objectives, I just want to book a call. So I don't really want to try to nurture people on the back end of the moment and all that. So I'm just going to either get you in my system, get you to book a call. If you don't book a call or if you don't show up to the call or something, I'm just going to keep following up with you until you tell me to screw off or something. So I do see why that could be valuable, like running a lead magnet, but I've seen some pages where it's kind of confusing on what they actually want you to do. It's like, do they want you to book a call? Do they want you to download this thing? It's like, I just go very specific to what it is. Just if that's a VSL book a call funnel, it's a VSL book call funnel. Just have them book a call. If they don't want to book a call, you could run, retargeting ads to them to book another call or test out a lead magnet. But that's kind of another issue that I've seen people that I've worked with is they try to do everything at once. They're like, I'm going to run a low ticket offer. I'm going to run a lead magnet. I'm going to run a school community thing too. And I'm going to run a high ticket offer and a book a call funnel. It's like, slow down. Just monetize a book a call funnel.
Make it simple. Okay, so now we've got the landing page. We've got our VSL as opposed to our DSL. Sorry, Fazio. We're going with the old style. And then talk to us about ads, because I know you're the ads man himself.
Yeah, so working with them on ads, which has been pretty cool. I've been shifting the philosophy lately on how I'm doing creatives and testing out kind of a new system. So my whole thing is I want to split test between just like direct response, like here's what we are, here's what we offer, we want you to do this, and we can get you X outcome, to testing things that are more native to the platform or what people actually want to like watch, that are more not full entertainment, but entertainment layered with a little bit of like direct response and sales elements to it. So, and I pulled this from a book that everyone should read is day trading attention. So pretty much like what they do at VaynerMedia is they say, okay, here's the industry I want to go after. Let's just say it's e-com owners, right? Then they break down e-com owners as a big industry into 30 to 40 plus cohorts. So e-com owners that are doing this as a side hustle, e-com owners that own a weed pen shop, e-com owners that are between the ages of 25 and 30 that run a poster shop for comic stuff, right? So they get very specific, and then they're pretty much making organic content on their pages for those specific cohorts. So 3 to 5 different posts per cohort that's native to the actual platforms and what's popping off on those platforms for those specific cohorts. So if it's, the weed company example, they'll literally type in like on the explore page on TikTok, Instagram, weed ecom company or weed ecom store owner, see what's trending there, replicate that in their own way, run it, and then out of all those cohorts and all those posts, see what over indexes and performs really well, pull it back into post production, add some different sales elements on top, direct response stuff, because it's already proven in an organic environment that it works, it's entertaining, people want to watch it. So then you just boost it on the paid end, maybe refilm it a little bit, add a banner, change up some angles, make it a little bit to more of a higher production ad, then like run it. So that's kind of the philosophy I'm trying to develop now. And it's a bigger system that we're trying to really implement versus just, okay, cool, we think that this hook will work and this body will work. Well, off of what data? Like if there's data in the ad account, there's past ads that work, that's something. That's fantastic. You can work off that. But if it's just like, oh, well, I saw Cole Gordon running this ad, I'm going to remake it. It's like, it might not be working for them. They might be just blowing money on that because their spend's huge or something. So that's kind of the philosophy we're taking.
All right, so let's imagine we have a guy. He has great hair. We'll call him Shmanuel Smasio. And let's imagine we want to make some ads for him. So what we'd look at like cold email, TikTok, and then we'd look at what are the top performing things. And then we'd try to customize whatever that like user generated content is to fit some kind of ad format, like an edutainment format.
Yeah, so pretty much, just make content first with who you think your 30 to 40 ideal target customers are going to be. Like, what do they look like? How old are they? Gender, what are their interests? Stuff like that. See what they're actually watching on the socials. Make content specifically for them without trying to sell them something. See what works. Pull it back in. Make it into an ad pretty much. That's kind of the overall philosophy. So for, someone that would be named Shmanuel Schmazio, they might have a, low ticket community that might be $35 a month that teaches people how to make their first $1,000 online. So they can do 18 to 20-year-olds just graduate or, in college, 20 to 24-year-olds just graduating college, confused on what they want to do, 9-to-5ers that hate their life, that are between 25 and 30, that are male, female, right? Just make specific content, especially that. I mean, there's so much content out there online. And then there might be a guy that has already a great established social presence that knows him, named Schmishtian, we'll call him, that already probably
actually Schmishtian, friend of the pod. Christian's been on the pod, so
there you go. Perfect.
Until Daniel comes on, he's not getting a proper name recognition.
Some call out, yeah. So, yeah, Christian, right? He's already got a very good social presence, so he already probably has stuff too that's worked in the past that you can pull out and download, chop up, and then run again. So, yeah, that's pretty much the main thing. It just makes stuff people want to watch. And, I talked to one of the media buyers at VaynerMedia too and pulled some stuff for him. I was like, how do you guys make these like really high production ads? And they're pretty much like, it just ideates from the same or originates from the same system. And they take stuff that worked then on the paid social end, mash it all together, run it on, like Roku TV, the Hulu ads, stuff like that, get a proven concept there. And then from there, you can really just mash things together again based on the analytics, see what works, and you can run like a Super Bowl ad with it or a TV ad. So that's kind of how they it's crazy to see how it just stems from some small social post into this big thing.
Now, you mentioned VaynerMedia a few times. Do you feel like they're the gold standard in like ad creatives and in what they're doing in the info space?
Yeah, Gary Vee's like crazy. Like I said, if there's one book I know everyone goes towards. I love Hormozy. Don't get me wrong, fantastic stuff. But day trading attention is like if you're in the ad space, creative space, organic, socials. I mean, just marketing in general. I mean, you got to read that thing.
All right, so we've got now the book of call funnel built out. There's a lot of people. We've got people that love WAP on the pod. We've got people that love school on the pod. Even heck, there's people using Kajabi out there. Crazy people, we call those. So talk to us a little
Yeah.
bit about like these community funnels. Are there any other funnels you specialize in, or is it really just this book of call funnel? Like, hey, let's get people nailing the basics.
Yeah, it just I mean depends on what you want to do. Like if you're already sitting at 40, 50 grand a month in revenue, then okay, you can start playing around with a low ticket funnel, low ticket product funnel, which we build. You can start playing around with the webinar funnel, especially if you're like the info space. Even agencies getting a little interesting if you have a unique mechanism. Um, Webinars can work pretty good for that. Same with SaaS. I know Dan Henry's running one right now, like consistent webinars. It's crushing it for his new AI product. And yeah, low ticket product funnels, webinar funnels, challenge funnels are another one. Community funnels, I really am liking right now, just because there's a couple of things you could do. Is if you're running a low ticket product funnel, I like housing the actual low ticket product inside of like a free community because then you get both aspects of it. You get to deliver them the free or the low ticket product, and you also get them in a community that you can control the narrative. So those are good. Everyone's on the school wave, still trying to win the school games, which I just see they announced they're giving away like 4 Cybertrucks the next couple of months for people that win the school games, which is crazy. Um, those community funnels are working pretty good. I found the most success when they're attached to like a book funnel or a low ticket product funnel is like an order bump though.
Interesting. So walk us through that because we maybe us plebeians we've been hanging out in the book of call funnel, but now we're hearing what books? What we maybe we read .com secrets, but we've forgotten everything from it. So tell us a little bit about this funnel you like.
Yeah. So Jason Wojo's got a good one. So his is doing pretty good, and pretty much I wouldn't jump immediately into this unless you do have some cash to experiment with it and are okay burning some money if you do lose on this, and you actually have a good book. So that's a first thing. So yeah, book funnel. If you're wanting to run it, make it good, make a lot of good creatives for it, get people to repost your book when they receive it and everything. Try to make shipping as fast as possible too, and then within the actual checkout page that you're doing, add an order bump on there for a community add-on, like a one-on-one call with you or something. Or if you're selling an agency service on the back end of it, just say, hey, I gave you, I talked to a guy today that was developing a cold calling book and he wants to run a funnel for it. So I was like, cool, run that. And then at the end be like, hey, name's Jason here. I am glad you got my book about cold calling. So I know you're probably a busy business owner. If you are, you can definitely apply all this stuff in the book. It's very tactical, intangible advice. You can do all this yourself, or you can just like have us do it. So if you want to, click below. We can just talk. So a couple of different ways to run it.
I gotta say, for people that are not watching the video, my mouth was agape because I thought he was going to be talking about an ebook, and then he starts talking about shipping. I'm like, what? So you're seeing this with actual physical books?
Yeah, physical books, ebooks. I've never ran a good one ever. They just they don't perform that well.
Do you think there's like a psychological effect here where they just view it as more valuable because it's being actually shipped to their house, and then by having to ship it, you actually have to get them to put in their credit card information?
Yeah, definitely that. That's for sure a big factor. And then also, I don't have any like data on this, but I feel like ebooks, whenever I say the word ebook, everyone probably just like cringes for a quick second because they just were the hot thing in like 2015, and most of them just suck. Like every accounting firm in your town probably has a ebook on their website. It's like no one actually wants to read it. But if you call it a swipe file, now it's something new. So that's, something to consider. But yeah.
A little marketing trick of the trade. Well, one interesting thing about M&As, and brought it up, but he works with some really big clients that everyone would know the names of. So talk to us a little bit about your client acquisition method. I know you have this strategy for signing big whales. So give us some of the sauce here.
Yeah, so I'm the agency that does ads and funnels, and is we are running ads for us too. But honestly, I've been landing a lot of higher ticket, very well known uh, clients that are, you know, like you said, whales in the industry just through manual outreach. So doing a lot of Eamon is fantastic at this. He runs a video production or editing agency, content agency. I always mess that up. Sorry, Eamon. Uh, he has like the Dream 100 outreach system he talks about, and it's pretty much just doing free work ahead of time and sending it to someone. And really, people screw this up because I've gotten a couple of it now, which is kind of like cool. A couple things, especially people like, hey, here's a YouTube video script. And you can kind of tell when people do free work with anticipation of you being like, oh, cool, I want to sign you. Like, I want you to be your client. So I've done a lot of free work for people, and there are a lot of times that they just take it, implement it, I never hear back from them. So it's like just giving without the actual like intention of getting something back, having that mindset when you're creating something for people for free, that has helped me get a lot of doors and sign a lot of great clients. And one that I'm working on right now, hopefully I can announce him in the future. But yeah, it's probably going to close him. So just off of that.
Wow. Well, that's very exciting. So tell us a little bit about like for people that are like, this give free work strategy. Talk to us a little bit about like tactically what you do. So you talked about how Eamon does the YouTube script. So for people that are unfamiliar, he was historically sending people YouTube scripts and he's like, hey, if you film this, I'll edit it for you and do the post-production for you. So talk to us a little bit about like your strategy if people don't run necessarily a content agency.
Yeah. So first off, it like doing free work for people, and a lot of it at scale does suck. It's tough, but it's a big payoff, huge ROI in your time. Um, Pretty much like what I do, and I have a service that I can really deliver something to them up front. So we do full fledged landing page redesigns, copy, everything. I'll even write like a VSL script for them and pretty much be like, here is this for you in a Figma file, a template. If you want us to like build this into your funnel builder, ClickFunnels, GHL, Webflow, whatever it is, let's hop on a quick 5-10 minute meeting just so we can get the logins and we'll start building it for you. So that's our process. Is I just look at what they actually like need, which is kind of a meta theme for doing this, is actually see what they need. Like there's some people that they might already that I've seen that they might already have a dialed in funnel and a dialed in landing page. And I'm like, all right, there's not really much I can do here. Even if they said, here's money, and they can't really do much. Maybe some on the back end. And with then you could opt into their funnel and see if there's any bad follow-up messages or slow, you know, time with that, or check their ad library and see if there's any bad creatives. Maybe I could rewrite scripts for them or something. But that's ultimately what it is. Just look at who you want to work with, make sure they're, very well off. It doesn't have to be top of the industry, but pretty good. And someone that's like a case study builder. Do something that's actionable for them that they could take and easily consume and easily, perform upon or implement, and then try to get on a call with them. So I like adding that little element of, here it is. If you want us to build it, we'll do it obviously for free, not looking for anything. Let's hop on a call so we can get your logins. So like forces them to get on a call versus just like, oh, cool, thank you.
Now, do you just send the doc or you send like a Loom video describing it, or it's just, hey, doc, value,
No, I do,
quick message?
was doing Google Docs. Now I'm doing Gamma because they look better. So I'll have pretty much like a VSL, mini VSL of me just sitting down for like 60 seconds explaining what's in this document, why I'm even really doing it, what I saw, have some contact details on there, and then the actual deliverables versus just, hey, here's the deliverables or here's a Loom video. It's just everything in one nice, concise, orderly doc. And I'll sometimes toss some case studies at the bottom, but usually that looks a little too salesy. So just keep it straight to like, what is this that I just emailed you or DM'd you? What actually is the deliverable? And then where can you contact me more?
And surely you must have at least part of this templatized. Maybe there's like, I don't know, lead nurture emails that are relatively like easy. And then you could maybe use Claude to customize it. Like how big of a document are they getting? And are they just like, holy hell?
Depends. I mean, the shortest one that I did was about 10 pages long, and the longest was about 120. So it kind of depends on how much stuff and how close I am with getting to like like if I have direct contact with like the CEO or the GM or marketing manager or something, then and I see a lot of holes where I can fill, I'm going extremely hard on that. So trying to just write as much as possible, lock myself in a room, give value, because I know if you do that up front, they're going to sign on for a longer period of time too, and at a higher price point.
Yeah, and it's probably like a good exercise in like sharpening the axe. It's essentially like you do a bunch of audits, and at this point, you really know what's wrong with people's funnels, and you could probably spot it from like a mile away.
Yeah.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. And then operationally, is this like really complex? Are you like having to glue together like CRMs with like ConvertKit and Beehive and like all these kinds of different softwares, or is there like a relatively unified software you're using?
No, just a Asana Kanban board. That's pretty much it. So I have like my it's like an FBI most wanted list, but it's like a hit list each month. So I'll set different tasks for, okay, I need to produce this, my team needs to produce this by this date. And we kind of treat it as if it's like a client paying us. That's the biggest thing, because it's a snippet of working with us. So you want it to be actually high quality and what they would get if they were working with us, and just have deadlines on that, package it together, shoot the video, put it in a doc, send it off.
Dang. All right. So completely off topic, but you recently started creating content. So you're now getting like YouTube videos out there. You're running your own podcast. Talk about some of your goals for this. Like, is this like a new lead acquisition thing? Is it like, hey, I just want to teach the general populace? Talk to us a little bit about like what's your goal with content?
Yeah, so I definitely need to get more consistent on that. So working on creating some systems that make it a lot easier for me to film, edit, post, and everything. Really, just the overall goal is to there you go is to pretty much, it's overused. A lot of people say they just want to like teach people and educate, but like I do think there's a lot of garbage on the internet, which is highly annoying, especially when like me myself and consuming it all day long, and I'm scrolling through, as you know, Twitter is like a cesspool most of the time. So you're scrolling through and it's like I don't even know who to trust. So I'm trying to stay in my lane and be like, I know these things. If you want to learn these things, listen to me. If not, I'm not telling you how to make a video viral. I'll show you how to run a good ad and make a good funnel. So it's kind of like that's the initial goal, is to just build up an audience around that, and then ultimately branch out to pretty much everyone has a skill that they can sell in some capacity. So, okay, how do you get your first paying client? How do you get to 5, 10K? And then ultimately that, as a little back end marketing thing, that breeds my ICP. So selfishly, it's like a lead gen system too, but also it's doing a goodwill of getting people to a point where they can actually create a business that can scale at that point.
So now we've got the full back end build out. Eventually, we're going to hit our guru arc, and then what will it be? Then you'll run your own like VC private equity shop. I feel like that's the true trod and true path.
That's the goal, is the consult for equity. Like that's the long-term goal, is to just build up, have like a very productized system that's, like Hormozy has his VAM model, the value acceleration model, which is pretty much what he does all day long now with acquisition.com, is get companies in, place that model. It's like a factory system, grows a company, sells it. So that's kind of the end goal.
Yeah, that's so that would that be the end goal for you? I think Hormozy does that. I believe that's also, does VaynerChuk do that?
I'm honestly not sure. I'm assuming, I know he's like an angel investor and has like VC components to his business, but I'm not sure that's his primary thing. What they do is, it seems like they go after Fortune 500 companies mainly, and they're running like large scale campaigns for them. So Alaska Airlines, Pepsi, like Mr. Peanut, Planters, those like companies, and making Super Bowl ads for them, which I like, but I don't want that to be like my North Star. I would like to, if it makes sense, if I have a business that I acquired or have some equity of, if it makes sense to run a Super Bowl ad, they'll be like, all right, cool, let's make that. But it's like, seems like their North Star is how do we make the best, how do we just focus on making like the best creative and media buying decisions versus, which obviously is growing the business, but Hormozy is like, okay, how do we fix every part of this business? So that's kind of my goal.
Yeah, for people that are listening, yeah, you've got like obviously the big back end builds out, and some people that maybe are new are like, "Well, that seems like a heck ton of work. Is that what I have to do to get a good business in place?" Talk to them about the like 80-20 of business. Like, what's the 20% of efforts that leads to like most of your clients like 80% of their results?
Yeah, 80, that the 20% that leads to the 80 is just, honestly, it's dialing in their offer. That's like such a massive thing that we've done. And because if the offer is good, like we have literally a no questions asked guarantee on the offer. So I don't like sales. I am not a good salesperson. That everyone's like, oh, learn sales first. You can't succeed without sales. Well, I'm fine. And I don't like sales at all because I have a good guarantee. So that's the first thing. If you can like really focus 80% of your time on that, that's going to help a lot. And really, other than that, it's just getting past the hurdle of not doing anything and trying to be like, oh, well, I'm going to make a plan to run this acquisition system. Like I'm going to do cold email and cold DMs. I'm going to do organic content and I'm going to do paid ads and I'm going to do YouTube and all this. It's like, just pick one thing, have one offer and just run with it. It's all the planning doesn't need to happen.
Now, is there a specific channel you're relatively bullish on? Are you like you mentioned like X or Twitter as we call it in the past is now accessible? Are you like bullish on LinkedIn? Are you bullish on YouTube? Like where are you bullish on? Like if you had to start a new brand, maybe not for yourself, but like for somebody else, what would you say to focus on?
If you got patience, YouTube. I mean, massive search engine plus content. It's a no brainer, really, at that point. It's just, you could still get a lot of underpriced attention on like other platforms. I know LinkedIn, but LinkedIn right now is kind of like not a fad, but it's the hot thing. Twitter was the hot thing, but what's happened through, Twitter being hot, Facebook being hot, Instagram being hot, TikTok being hot, YouTube has been steady whole freaking time. It hasn't dipped. It's just been the thing. And everyone kind of jumps from like shiny object to shiny object, and other platforms are important, but I mean, guys are cranking on YouTube.
Yeah, that's interesting. When we talked about ads earlier, I just assumed you were talking about either TikTok ads or Meta ads. Were you at all referring to YouTube ads? The one advantage I've heard from YouTube is you don't need to refresh the creatives all that much. But as the ads man, you tell us.
Yeah, it depends on what your goals are. So I think, I mean, look, if you're running like Meta ads, they're saying everyone's like, oh, it's so expensive. It has gotten more expensive, but it's still, at the grand scheme of things, way underpriced. So YouTube ads are fantastic to run. We do run those, and yeah, you don't have to refresh them as much. So there's, I think, honestly, every platform that you can run an ad on right now is underpriced. Besides like traditional media like radio and TV, because they're insanely expensive. The targeting is limited. There's not a lot of audiences out there to reach. So the capabilities are very limited. So like if you can just properly run ads on any platform, I mean, they're all underpriced in my opinion. It's just, can you actually make good ads that are native to that platform is the main thing. And you have a good offer to actually convert.
Yeah, it all starts with the offer. So talk about one bad recommendation you hear in your profession or area of expertise.
Yeah. This Twitter garbage that you need like multiple acquisition channels is so stupid. just pick one. Like you don't need to be doing, because everyone's like, oh, well, you need a bunch of different ones because if your paid ads start to drop or Meta does some update and you don't have a cold system in place, it's like, it doesn't, like you just need to pick one thing. And then another one that I have is, and this is going to piss off a lot of the agencies out there that do this, but don't hire an appointment setter like early on. You don't need one. Like I did that and I burned $6,000 for absolutely no reason. So yeah, I was still handling a lot of the inbound stuff. And plus, fun fact, I found a better appointment setter for my clients just by posting a LinkedIn ad. So if there's any agency out there, don't trust them with this appointment setting garbage. Unless you're doing like 30, 40, 50K, you have so many sales calls that you're like, it's not worth my time to interview people. I'm just going to go and, hire someone to find something for me and call it a day. So, but if you're under 30K or not overwhelmed with sales calls, like don't hire an appointment setter. And if you do really want to hire one, just use LinkedIn. So,
Yeah. Well, that makes sense. Well, you kind of already preempted this question, but I like to ask, what's the current market arbitrage? In the past, people have thought like Google ads in the days of Tim Ferriss, Facebook ads, for probably Hermosi, TikTok shop, people say posting on LinkedIn. What do you think is truly like the arbitrage going on right now, or the underpriced attention?
definitely still organic content, YouTube primarily, but all the other platforms. I mean, you could literally just get eyeballs on your stuff for free just by posting stuff and watching content, seeing what works and posting it, and then amplifying it. So I think that whole system of posting organic content, seeing what works, and then amplifying it is just way underpriced and just such a good tool because you don't have to just sit there and throw money at ads if you don't know the angle works and the creative works. You can just see what works initially for free and then boost it.
Fair enough. All right. One business book you recommend to the audience, not written by Alex Hermosi, of course.
Definitely, yeah, going back to it, Day Trading Attention, that thing, pristine, by Gary Vee.
Love it. Now, if you could only recommend one like social media channel, we'd say in the health space, what would you recommend people?
In the health space, you said?
Mm-hmm.
The health space, I would stay away from Twitter because I've seen a lot of like weird stuff on Twitter lately. Like a lot of
You're
weird
cracking
stuff.
eggs on your head for not shampoo. Yeah.
Yeah, I would go. I don't know if it's like a channel per se, but I would go towards podcasts of people that actually have like credibility, like Huberman, for example. So go find influencers and podcasters that.
Right. Well, we'll take you as Huberman there. Okay,
Yeah.
Wealth. That's not Hermosi.
Wealth. That's not Hormozy. That's tough. I would still stick with that. I mean, shoot, that and YouTube are pretty much the two primary things.
Is there a person you would recommend, like a person that's not a client ascension person? I'll also caveat that.
That's not a client ascension person. It's weird because like I don't have like a set person that I like go and listen to all the time. It's kind of like, what do I need at the moment? And I go and find it. So
what do you need at the moment?
What I need at the moment is organic content. So I'm listening to a lot of Gary Vee. A lot of Gary Vee. So
nice, we like it. You're being consistent. You got the book recommendation and the YouTube channel recommendation. How about, is there someone you look at in the relationship sphere where you're like, ooh, they're an interesting account? Recommend them.
Relationship sphere.
This could be dating. I think you have a long-term girlfriend, or it could be just like networking.
I'd say, so I'm gonna butcher his name, but I've been looking at it, Chris Willix or Williamson.
Chris Williamson. Yeah, he's the most common answer here. I might have to ban him in the future. He may become the Hermosi of the relationship sphere.
Yeah, put it on there. His head though. But yeah, I would say his stuff's good, and I know Joe Rogan doesn't always talk about relationships, but he pulls some good experts on there, so he's got some stuff.
Absolutely. All right, best purchase for under $500.
Oof. A walking, just because it's what I've been liking lately, but a walking treadmill under the desk. You get a good one for like $200 on Amazon. It's great.
Now, do you have the desk over top of the treadmill itself? Like, do you have a standing desk?
Yep.
Okay, interesting.
But you could get those for like $100.
Do people hop on calls and they're like, Evan, are you running right now?
Oh yeah. Yeah, you can tell like if I think that, which sounds bad, if I think the meeting's like, I'm gonna get in trouble for this, but if I think the meeting's important or not, like if it's not really that important, like I'm gonna be on the treadmill. Like it just is what it is. Like, if it's important, I'll sit down. Like I'm not walking right now, so we're good. But
all right, if you had to start a business in a different vertical tomorrow, so no building out back end systems anymore, tell us what the vertical would be and why.
That's a good question. I like that one. I don't think I've been asked that. I would probably say something in the health space that has to do with like personal training or nutrition, just because it's something that you can start up with limited experience, has like a high impact on people's lives, and is easy to pretty much sell because it's like a massive pain point that people have is health and wellness.
Yeah, fair enough. Okay, so let's imagine you wake up tomorrow. Everyone forgets about you. They're like, Evan, who? No more job, no more bank account. Social media is all at zero. I'll give you like a apartment, laptop, iPhone, all that kind of stuff. You can even keep your fancy mic if you like. Give us a 30-day plan on how you'd build like a profitable business.
30-day plan. So first is, got to acquire some sort of skill. So are we starting with any cash here or no? Is it like totally
I'll give you a
from,
credit card. It'll have 5K limit.
oh shit. All right. A 5K limit. We're good then. All right. So first I'd get I'll plug it like 2 Celsius. That's the key. So
A crate of Celsius. Okay,
yeah,
start with that.
and then pretty much from there, find one skill that you think you already have some sort of, attachment to, right? Like whether it's, for example, you've written like poems on the side or something. Okay, maybe copywriting might be a thing, or you filmed people before just for fun. Maybe videography might be a thing. So pick like some skill that you even have like a slight interest in and a slight background in, and then go find someone that's done it way better than you. Pay them. I know the whole coaching space is like gurus this, gurus that, but it's true if you could find someone that's ideally someone that's not even like blown up and big, that's someone that's like not making 500K per month, someone that's like at 20, 30K per month, go pay them. You're going to save a little bit of cash and get more like tactical stuff that's closer to where you are right now. And then pretty much pay them, go do some free work for them too if you want, but then go and find some other people, 3 to 5 people to do free work for, kill it for them in 3 to 4 weeks, get them on a case study video. You could also try to sell them there too to a continued service. That might be your first batch of clients. And then after that, take those case studies and then start doing manual outreach. If you have a limited budget, you can't run ads, which I wouldn't really run ads with 1 or 2 grand anyways to your name by any stretch of the imagination. So start doing manual, cold DMs, stuff like that. Keep doing the free work for people, and you should have a nice pipeline built up at that point.
There you go. Hey guys, it seems like the first thing you need to do is get Celsius, and then all the rest follows.
Exactly. That's without that, like that's the start that pushes you through
That's
all the activation points. That's it. So.
Yeah, easy peasy. All right. So what's like a big goal or milestone you have coming up that where people can kind of keep in touch with you?
Big one is this year we want to pass by the end of the year 60K a month. That's the target. So
Nice.
Pushing towards it.
Nice. And where can people kind of keep up with you online? Any kind of social media? You want them to any kind of podcast? Anything you want them to keep in touch with you on?
Yeah, just Evan Seech on socials. EvanSeech. Hit me up Instagram, Twitter, LinkedIn too. I need to get the connections up, so like go to there. Facebook, I have a lot of weird pictures of me with like my mom reposting stuff, and it's just like weird. So
yeah, and it seems like, guys, if you really want to get in touch with Evan, it's no longer good enough just to send him a free YouTube script. You need to be very creepy. Find his address. Leave cart of Celsius with YouTube script printed on top. Boom, easy peasy. Yeah. Evan's your client now. But guys, if you've listened this far, you must either really love me or really love Evan, or possibly both of us. So I say give us 5 stars and get back to growing your agency. God, come on, stop listening to this.